Me saying to her, I really want to have the driver these 2 days for recreational outings, and she coordinates the other.
But the appointments come first?
Generally.
Yeah.
You know, have I had a special thing that I really wanted to bring them to and gone to her and said, is there any way you can reschedule this appointment? And she's able to, she might, but
Yeah.
she's also had to come to me and say, this is a really important appointment, I need to cancel your rec outing.
Okay.
So we kind of work together on that.
So Lisa handles the medical
She schedules the
appointments?
medical appointments after getting the orders from nursing.
And how much is the bus being used outside?
We're aiming for twice a week.
Twice a week you go out?
Yep.
You go out for lunch, or just go out for a ride? Or?
Go out for a ride, out for lunch, shopping. It's
Yeah.
now that the weather's warming up, I look forward to having more opportunities just to get out and ride.
Yeah. What's the percentage of residents that are able to go out on the bus?
I
mean, you can't take them all out at once, but
no.
in a week's time, does 50 residents get a chance to go out?
In a week's time, no.
No.
Probably
10.
16 in a week's time.
And the bus can hold how many?
Depends on the configuration.
Yeah.
It can hold, technically it can hold 6 wheelchairs, but that would only hold 2 walkers if I had 6 wheelchairs.
Okay, okay.
Because the benches fold up and down. Generally, I'm taking 4 wheelchairs and 4 walkers.
Okay.
Seems to be the average.
Okay.
If I wanted to take a larger group, at times we've taken the van and the bus together
Right.
to allow for more.
You have 2 bus drivers?
No, but anyone can drive the van.
Okay.
I can drive the van. So we would have a rec person drive the van in that instance.
Does the family group, do they have any input into what goes on for recreation?
They haven't asked to have any. I would certainly be interested if they had feedback.
The family council you're talking about?
Yeah. As long as it met the residents' needs.
Mm-hmm.
You bring the residents out a lot. You travel almost in the whole state of New Hampshire? Where are the places? Which towns?
We try not to go too far, which is hard in a rural area. There is a restaurant that they really like in Concord that they request to go to from time to time. We do go to Portsmouth from time to time. But we are working hard to try to find more local restaurants. I do have some residents that won't go on a long trip because they don't want to ride that long. So we really kind of, and I have some that want to ride longer. So it's really a balancing act and trying to be prudent of gas prices too.
Right.
Do you ever take residents out shopping?
Yes. That's a frequent request from the residents. Even, we may go to Walmart or to the Lilac Mall, or we may go right down here to Job Lots in the dollar store.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar store? I understand.
The dollar store, it's right at the lights by Hannaford on the other side.
No, you mean Family Dollar?
Yes, Family Dollar.
Okay, you got anything else? Anybody got any questions? You got anything else that you'd like to tell us about what's going on in the Recreation Department? Are you cooking any food over there?
Yes, we've started once a month cooking a meal with the residents on the second floor. The staff and the residents cook together.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have started once a month doing all neighborhoods. We did a cookie social one month. So in the morning, every neighborhood made cookies. And in the afternoon, all of the neighborhoods got together downstairs and brought the cookies and shared and, and trying to do things like that. And then there's a lot of just little cooking groups on the neighborhoods. Many which are kind of spontaneous, spur of the moment. I might have a staff member say, gee, why don't we make some cookies this morning? Or I've had a resident say, can we make a cake this afternoon? And we try to accommodate that.
Do you feel the new nursing home fits in better recreational-wise than the old nursing home? What would be some of the advantages?
I see.
You spread out quite a bit.
Some things have surprised me. Residents, some of them are out of their rooms more in this building, and some of them are out of their rooms less. Some of them are very content in their own private rooms and are actually kind of become more secluded that way, and others are spending more of their time out in the common areas, but maybe don't want to come out of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Particularly upstairs is a lot quieter than downstairs, as far as people being way more independent and not wanting as much group stuff upstairs as they would downstairs. So it's...
A lot of them come down for bingo.
Well, even my bingo numbers have dipped a little bit,
Really?
though, actually.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's just the population that I have right now, but... You know, I've had some people upstairs say, well, I'm not coming downstairs for anything unless it's bingo, or it's kind of surprised me. There's definitely a different flavor to each neighborhood and to each household. And
Good. Well, I've talked with some of them over there, and they seem to like, especially the private room
yeah.
and the private shower. They really like that. Some thought it would never happen, but it did. Okay, thank you very much for
You're welcome.
coming in. Bob Murray. Bob's maintenance director in the new nursing home.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pleased to report to you that it looks like they're going to be firing up the pellet boiler tomorrow for the first time.
Yep.
It's going to be a process to get the thing up and running fully to its full potential. There's a lot of testing involved. They plan on being there a couple of days. But first fire, I think, is going to happen tomorrow.
I just find it amazing to walk into that room and see all of the electrical conduits, all the plumbing, all the piping.
Hundreds of feet.
Oh, my God. The room is just filled. I can understand why it was that expensive to do that room over and connect up the boilers. I mean, it's just amazing. Just amazing.
They've done a nice job. I encourage everybody to come down and take a look at it. I don't think I want to see public down there just yet until the room is finished, everything's insulated and put in its place. But right now, if you guys want to come down and take a look, absolutely.
Yeah.
Please do. And of course, we will be opening it up on Farm Day.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there Farm Day, letting the
I
public.
think
come
you
in and
need to
out.
consider maybe opening it up a little more. I'm not sure how, but I mean, there are other places. I know
All anybody has to
Mr.
do.
Solomon has been to other places
Yeah,
where they had
the committee that was the Carroll County United
Mhm.
working on energy issues have been going around to various places that have pellet systems and wood burning systems, etc.
All they have to do is give me a phone call, and
We
I'd be
will.
happy to
We will indeed.
show them.
I've already put them on notice that as soon as we're ready, as soon as the place is
Good.
ready, they would be able to come down. Probably not before the fall, because till they get everybody involved, and set up different locations, because they don't just go to one place.
Right. Well, I'm available
Okay.
anytime.
Well, that's good news.
Yes. Yes. And, did you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Yes. Commissioner Kenny came up with something.
Oh, last week, I asked Sandy McKenzie, but she said you will be here, about the ceiling. I think there was a leak,
Yep.
a condensation
Yep,
issue.
yep, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talk about
there was.
that.
We did have a condensation problem. We got surprised by some hot, humid weather back in March, and we did find an air conditioning unit that had a cracked condensate pan that contributed to some unnecessary water showing up. But we also had a problem with staff leaving windows open, and that humidity, all that extra humidity, kind of overburdens the air conditioning system, and you get condensation that actually forms on the outside of the ductwork where it's not supposed to be, and it drips, and that's what caused the damage to that ceiling tile. So, I've been making it a point to make sure that everybody keeps the windows shut and let the environmental system of the building work the way it's supposed to.
So when you have early heat, as we did last month, does the air conditioning come on automatically?
Yeah, it's fully automatic. The air conditioning system will even run in the wintertime if it feels, it's got different parameters that it measures, but if it feels that it needs to run the AC, it will. It's fully automatic. I've got all the resident areas set at 72 degrees, which is right about the comfort level for the residents. Some of them like it warm. I've seen residents at the old building when it was 90 degrees that still have sweaters on. But 72 degrees seems to be that magic number where the body stops giving off heat, and it seems to be the magic number. But staff, unfortunately, finds 72 degrees a little too warm. So my main focus, everybody's main focus, is resident comfort. So I have to insist that the building be maintained at 72 degrees unless I'm instructed by either Sandy or the director of nursing, because the temperature of the building directly involves resident care. And that's what we're all here for, is resident care. It's in my job description that I have to work in extreme temperatures, either hot or cold. And I also feel that the nurses should be able to handle working in temperatures that are above their comfort zone, because we are here for the residents. So therefore, I insist on having the windows shut, let the environmental system work the way it's designed, the way it's supposed to. If a resident in their bedroom wants their windows open, absolutely. We try to encourage them to leave it shut, but if a resident wants their window open and feel a breeze coming in, we don't deny them. They can absolutely. Well, I try, but we don't insist. Just encourage, and if we explain the reasons why, they're sure, no problem. So no resident is ever denied to have their window open, but in the staff areas, I insist that they keep the window shut and let the system work as designed.
So if the system is not on, they can open the windows?
The system runs 24/7. It's always blowing air. The temperature changes. Sometimes it's blowing cold air, sometimes it's blowing warm air, depending on what side of the cycle it's on. And I get the most complaints when it's on the side of the cycle that is blowing warm air. I get complaints all the time from staff. They're working with residents. The staff is being physical while the resident is being static, and there's a huge difference. But again, I have to emphasize that my focus is on resident comfort, not staff. We do the best we can, but 72 degrees is warmer than some, like here. This is probably 68, 70 degrees tops.
That's right.
In an office environment, it's the same. If you work in a store, it's cooler. But in a nursing home environment, you have to have a temperature that's comfortable for the residents.
Yeah.
And and we're still working bugs out of the system. I've got a couple of locations that I question the location of the thermostats, and the company is working with me on that. They're not leaving me hanging. Working to resolve a couple of bugs, but for the most part, we're in good shape.
Shower drains working okay?
Yeah, we had a problem at first. I told you, if you remember in construction meetings, I was concerned about that, and sure enough, they reared their ugly heads. Those problems were apparent for the first couple of weeks, but after that, we haven't had a problem since. No.
Good.
There are windows in the bathroom. Can you open those windows?
No, those are fixed.
Yeah.
Bathroom windows are fixed.
So you cannot open the windows at all.
Right.
Is there a ventilation system then
Yes.
in place?
Yes, complete. Yes, the air is recirculated in some of the units, but every resident area has what they call an energy recovery ventilation unit, an ERV, where it takes the air from the resident area, brings it up to the rooftop unit, extracts the heat from that air, and transfers that heat into fresh air, pumps that fresh air into the building. And all that air is naturally drawn towards the resident areas. That helps keep odor down, keeps the air fresh. So there is an air exchange in the building constantly.
Yeah, I have a question about a fan. Last year you came and asked for a fan, I believe it was a truck. A used one. It was probably $7,000.
Yes.
You said
For our
it
laundry
was
truck.
for bringing the laundry from the old nursing home to the new nursing home.
Yep.
But a couple times I see that they actually walking and pushing those things, that they don't use the truck? Because it's very close. The old nursing home, while they're coming in the back to the new nursing home?
The laundry gets changed on second shift, and those guys use the truck every day. Every day. But I have one guy, one of my maintenance staff, prefers to push. Unless, of course, it's raining or snowing. He likes the exercise. I'm not going to tell him he can't do that.
But it's very close by that they're going with a truck. You can actually
Well,
walk.
there's more. We use that for more than just laundry. We have equipment that we move back and forth. If we have a bed issue, and we did have some bed issues, we use that for moving the beds. We can't wheel those across the parking lot. So if you're implying that the truck was a waste of money, it's not. We use that truck regularly and for other purposes than just laundry transportation.
And also for, is it cardboard? Are you using it for cardboard, the truck?
No, not anymore. We changed that system. We were transporting cardboard over to the 35-yard compactor behind the old nursing home. That didn't work out as well as I had anticipated. So we changed the system. We dispose of cardboard in a dumpster just for cardboard right at the loading dock.
Because I remember that this was what you came asked for, the truck, for
That
the
was part of it.
cardboard and for the
Yes.
laundry.
Yes, yeah,
Mostly
that was
laundry.
part of it. But like I said, the cardboard didn't work out as well as I thought it was going to. And the new system that I am using isn't costing any more money. I'm doing it for the same price.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, no.
How are we doing on progress in the old nursing home in cleaning out wings or whatever?
All
Doing
the
that on a as you've got help available, or
well, I get calls every couple of weeks. I'll get a phone call. Somebody wants to come in and buy another old end table that we have. I sold an old piece of floor machinery that was down in the red storage unit. Somebody happened to come up and ask to buy one of our old beds. I sold them an old bed, and they asked if I had any floor equipment. I said, well, as a matter of fact, I do. So I sold a piece that way. The beds, all the old beds have been disposed of.
okay.
The farm took care of that a few weeks ago. There was a rainy day, and they turned that in for scrap. That's all been handled. The curtains have been removed. We're basically down to those small 3-drawer side bureaus. That,
Are all the rooms
sit inside.
empty?
Well, with the exception of those small pieces of furniture, yeah. The end tables, they're empty for the most part.
Okay. Interestingly enough, I had a call from a employee of the VA, and they a possibility. They're very much interested in the space at the old nursing home. Whether they can come up with the funding to rehab it is questionable. I mean, it's what I want to say, there's interest there. Whether that interest will spark other interest to really move forward with the VA using that nursing home, I guess it's still up in the air, but at least it's somebody that is showing an interest.
I spoke with that nurse as well, and I told her and invited her to come up with me on Friday when I go up to Berlin for a VA meeting on homelessness among the veterans. So that's something that's still being worked on. There's money out there for the project. The question is, obviously other places that might be interested in taking that or using some of that money. So we just have to find some organization that is interested in developing this into a project. But she said she would work.
Yeah,
she would be working on that.
They're looking for some leadership, somebody to take charge, to move forward
And that's what
with the VA.
That's what I'm hoping I'll learn about, get some more information about when I go up to Berlin on Friday.
Excellent.
Anything else you want to, your crew, you're all up to speed, all up to
Full capacity.
full staff?
Full staff. You guys are working out very well. We're working out very well together.
Good, good. Okay, any questions? Further questions? If not, thank you, Bo.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have anything else to bring up this morning?
Yeah, I have a question about the annual report. Did anyone write up something for the commissioners?
Yeah,
Because I didn't see any
was all-
notes.
It was all done and in, as far as I know. Check with Laurie.
It's at the printers, I understand.
Yeah,
Oh, but what did the commissioners write? Did Commissioner Solomon wrote something for the commissioners?
correct.
Oh, I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Do you still have that paper so I can read?
As a matter of fact, I just saw it yesterday. I do have it.
You
Not
have
here
it?
with me, but I do. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Okay, we'll open it up for public comments again. Yes, Damon.
Is the heat issue at the nursing home in their union contract? In other words,
The heat issue?
can they
It's-
write a grievance based on the
No.
nursing home being too warm?
I don't think so.
There's nothing in the union contract about heat, if that's what you're saying.
Okay.
If they want to grieve it, I suppose they can. I don't know.
And the other thing is, what was the VA interested in the old nursing home for? Was it for homeless shelter, or was it?
For homeless, and the person that I talked with said they'd be interested in the kitchen to prepare meals there. But
Okay.
they would be, we wouldn't have, my understanding, we wouldn't have anything to do with it. An organization would come in and run the place, okay?
The whole idea of the shelter is an interesting one, but the new nursing home was sold because
Because it wasn't fit for people to live
for
there.
human habitation, and then all of a sudden, you know, if it could be used for a homeless shelter, people might wonder, why did we build a new one?
Okay, they would have to rehab it. They gotta put a
Okay.
lot of money into rehabbing it. For example, 2 of the rooms would probably be made into one unit,
Okay,
1 bedroom and 1 living room. They would only be sharing 1 toilet rather than 4 people sharing a toilet. So there's things that have to be done to make it fit for somebody to live there,
okay,
no question. Not strictly, not for a nursing home because of the narrow corridors that we had
right,
and other problems, but it could be made for a shelter for VA people,
okay,
okay?
sure.
No, it is, a lot of work would have to be done before anybody could live in it. Yeah. Before it passed the VA inspection.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. Our problem was the old home would no longer pass the nursing home inspections. That was the issue. This, once it's should it be rehabilitated, rehabilitated, excuse me, would obviously have to pass whatever inspection needs they have.
Might be interesting for a story to find out what other places in the state may have a situation like this. I know there was something, I believe, in the AARP magazine, that there was one state where an organization came in and rented the space or did something with it, and it was then run and controlled by the people that lived there.
Yes, I was in, I had a telephone conversation with a gentleman in the Boston area who opened up a shelter for homeless veterans. And he was telling me how his is organized and run. And I was speaking just yesterday to some people who are, excuse me, who deal with the needs of residents up here. And they too, they couldn't be specific or point out particular people who are veterans and in need of this help, but they too believe that they are out there.
Okay, any other public comments? Yes, Mr. Brown.
What is June 12th at the jail?
The what?
June 12th?
That's the meeting.
That's the
What's-
court meeting.
No, it's not.
It
Well, yeah.
has to do with,
June 12th is a committee that Jason has put together, not commissioners, but Jason has, dealing with recidivism, repeat offenders. There's a judge involved, there's the defense attorney, prosecution attorney,
Some business
probation, chief of police, and there'll be others involved in it, like chambers of commerce, other business owners that might hire an inmate once they're released.
Are all the chiefs
No, there's only one.
invited, or?
I think what happened is the president of the Carroll County Police Chiefs Association was involved in it. Okay? The Wakefield Police Chief was actually the person that was here.
Byfield. Chief Byfield.
And then, about the cracked piece in I forget what he called it, not the air conditioner itself, but is it the air handler or something? The piece that he said was cracked up in the ceiling?
Condensation drip pan.
Condensation what?
Drip pan.
Drip pan?
Yes.
Well, I'll just, if it's just a pan, then never mind.
Okay. Any other comments over here? County Dewhurst, have you had an opportunity to talk with other county attorneys regarding their employment status of their people within their office as to whether they're salary or whether they're wage earners or?
Not yet, Commissioner.
You haven't? Okay. As soon as you do, we'd like to get this handbook approved for your department.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get it for next week.
Okay. If there's, yes?
Commissioner, I did have one other budgetary request that I wasn't able to get to you before yesterday, but I didn't know whether you wanted to address it now or next week.
Yeah, is it
Depends
personnel
what
or?
No, it's a change of line item budget for case preparation.
Yeah, yeah.
We came to the commission last year to ask that an amount from the civil commitment line item be transferred over to the case expense line item.
To the case?
Case expense, criminal
Okay.
case expense, because of a expert witness that was necessary. That case was recently called to the list for and is scheduled for trial this month.
Okay. What kind of figures do you want to move? Dollars?
Up to probably $3,500 from civil commitment, which is 4110-030, to criminal case expense, which is 4110-028. And currently, just so the commission knows, we had asked for an appropriate amount of $3,000 for the year. Already for the quarter, we have used approximately 1,100 of that budget.
Okay.
We have other cases that are going to require expenses, so that's why I said up to $3,500.
Okay.
But we do have to use an expert for the trial, which is scheduled to be reached, but we can never tell whether, because we have quite a few cases scheduled this month.
How much is in the civil line item? Do you know offhand?
Right now,
Yeah,
25,000.
25,000. And
just so the commission knows, the case that we anticipated was a request of the 25,000. That will probably come up this summer, that we'll have to start that procedure.
so,
And we've already gotten 2 other referrals of 2 other cases that have to be reviewed in the next, 60 days.